Alright, all you cool IPC people, here are the directions of how you do the percent of mixtures lab, which we're going to be doing on Friday. So, you need to take your analytical balance, and you're going to find the mass individually of a piece of filter paper, an evaporating dish, and a beaker. Once you have those masses and you record them in your data table, I'm going to give you a sand and salt mixture, a sample of it. And you're going to pour that mixture into the beaker that you just took the mass of. Then you're going to find the mass of this again and record it into your data table, but now it will be the mass of the beaker and the sand and salt mixture. So once you do that, we're going to filter the sand from the salt. So we're going to separate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of filter paper, and to fold a piece of filter paper, fold it in half first, make it like a half moon, then fold it in half again so now you have a quarter of a circle. To open it up, you're going to hold 3 of the edges in one finger, one of the edge in the other, and open it up kind of like a cone. So it makes a cone shape. Take that cone and it's going to go straight into your funnel. Now just like that, it's not going to stay very well. So you're going to get some water, and all I'm going to do is just dab my finger into the water, and I'm going to press along the filter paper, get the filter paper kind of wet. Make sure you don't pierce the filter paper, have a hole in it because that's not very helpful. Alright, and once you get it wet, it's going to stick. Now you want to make sure you have no gaps in between the filter paper and the funnel because you don't want sand and salt to get trapped in between there. So once you have that, you're going to take your iron ring stand and lower your iron ring down pretty low and put the clay triangle on top of your ring stand, and then your filtering funnel is going to go straight on there. Your evaporating dish is going to go underneath, and you need to lower this enough so that the stem of the filter is actually touching the evaporating dish. That helps it filter, helps it run through better. So I would need to lower this a little bit more, get it closer to so that this is actually touching the edge. I'll just go ahead and do it. So it looks something like that. So now I actually have touching. Now you're going to take a graduated cylinder, come to me, I'm going to give you about 5 milliliters of a hot water, and hot because it's going to help dissolve the salt, but the sand is not going to dissolve into it. So I'm going to pour my hot water into, going to take my sand salt, going to pour it into the filter paper so that it is just stuck right inside the filter paper. Then take my 5 milliliter hot water, pour it in slowly. You're going to let it drain. It's going to dissolve the salt, and the salt and the water are going to filter through the paper into your evaporating dish, and the sand is going to be trapped on your filter paper. So let it all drain first, then come and get another 5 milliliter hot water sample, and you're going to do the same thing, let it filter down. So once it's all filtered, you hopefully will have mostly sand here and a salt water mixture into your evaporating dish. So very carefully take your filter paper out of your funnel and carefully unfold it and put it on the watch glass, and we're going to let that dry while we do the rest of the experiment. Then take off the clay triangle, raise your iron ring, okay? And so now what we're going to do is we have the salt water in here. This is called the filtrate, and we're going to evaporate the water so we only have the salt left. So with your Bunsen burner is going to go underneath, and notice I don't have that much space in between the bottom of my iron ring and my Bunsen burner. You want to get it nice and warm. Take wire gauze, put it right on there, and then put your evaporating dish on top. Then we're going to take another watch glass and we're going to cover it kind of like a lid. So it has a little bit of a lid, and it's just going to sit nice and easy on there. Okay. Now you're going to light your Bunsen burner and you're going to heat this slowly. This doesn't have to be too high because we don't want the flames to reach up and over the evaporating dish. Just a nice little heat. because what we're going to do is slowly heat up the water, evaporate the water, but keep the salt behind. If you heat it up too fast, you're going to hear a lot of splattering, popping sounds of the salt. One reason why we put the lid on there is so that we don't lose any salt while we're doing that. So heat that up. Once you think the salt is pretty much dry, let it heat for another 2 minutes or so. You want to really make sure you get all the heat out, all the water out. Once you're done, turn off your Bunsen burner, and you're going to use tongs to take this off, let it cool on your table or on your ring stand. Let it cool to room temperature so that you can actually touch it again. Okay. You don't want it to be hot when you put it on the analytical balance. One reason is the analytical balance is plastic. Don't want to put something hot on the plastic. If we run out of time, I can get like one of the little coaster things if we really have to. Now, as that's going on, as you're heating up your salt water, your sand, put it right on your ring stand next to the Bunsen burner because that will help dry it out. Once everything is dry and cool, go over to your analytical balance and take the masses again. And then you're done with the experiment. We'll do the analysis later. Go ahead and clean up all your gear, wash your hands, and we'll be going on to the analysis. If you've watched this, I want you to leave a message or a comment on the video. Give me your name, your period, and your favorite restaurant. So we'll see you on Friday.